If you're ready to elevate your driving experience, the first ever Kia K4 is worth a closer look. It combines style and performance with a sleek, futuristic design featuring star map LED headlights and an available panoramic display for unforgettable looks. SiriusXM comes standard in every Kia K4, bringing you closer to what you love. Plus, with an available 190 horsepower turbocharged engine, the Kia K4 delivers everything driving enthusiasts crave. Learn more at kia.com/K4.
Is shopping for health coverage confusing? Georgia's got you covered. Georgia Access is our state's program for all residents to find quality, affordable health insurance. At georgiaaccess.gov, you can explore a variety of plan options. You may even qualify for no-cost coverage. Open enrollment is happening now. Visit georgiaaccess.gov today. Georgia Access. Health insurance the Georgia way.
Sometimes words seem so unnecessary. Introducing Unspoken, the new diamond fashion collection you'll only find at Jared Jewelers, and just in time for the holidays. Discover the brilliance of natural diamond pendants, rings, earrings, and bracelets in a range of carat weights, expertly interwoven in white or yellow 14-karat gold. It's the perfect holiday gift where your love speaks for itself. Unspoken, the dazzling new collection, exclusively at Jared.
Sweetheart, what about this one?
Nah, fam. That's a little sus.
Shopping with teenagers can be hard, between figuring out what they like and what they mean. But with Walmart, at least shopping for their next pair of glasses is easy. With the Walmart app, you can virtually try on frames at home, upload prescriptions, and get new glasses delivered right to your door. It's an easier way to get stylish glasses they'll actually like.
Now these new glasses, total vibes.
Buying new glasses has a new look. Welcome to your Walmart. Valid prescription required.
Whether you're making the same breakfast that you have every day or baking a cake for an extra special day, eggs are a staple in our diets. Eggland's best eggs are nutritionally superior to ordinary eggs, containing more vitamins and 25% less saturated fat. Not only are they better for you, but Eggland's best eggs taste better too. There's a reason that they're America's #1 eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com for additional information and delicious recipes.
Welcome to our paranormal afterlife. This is episode 155 of Paranormal Stories. This episode I'm reading from Orson Wedgwood's book, NDE, Near-Death Experience and Aware Studies, Proof of the Soul and God. When I have guests on my podcasts, I read their books to work out questions for the episodes. And when reading these books, I always find such amazing information that never makes it into the podcast. And here, I get a chance to give you a peek into the book. I've put a link to the book in the show notes, and I did seek permission to record this extract, and the author kindly said yes. So I'm going to read from a section of the book where Orson has written about verified near-death experiences, otherwise known as veridical near-death experiences. And this is what he has written. Dr. Lloyd Rudy's case. I first came across this on YouTube. Its authenticity struck me because it was buried in a channel for people interested in dental surgery and was a spontaneous account of an out-of-body experience given to the channel's host by the highly respected and well-known cardiac surgeon Dr. Lloyd Rudy in 2011, during which they also discussed cardiac problems related to dental infections. All the other videos, which averaged about 300 views, were of the same format and with the same host. This wasn't a channel devoted to NDEs, of which there are many. Despite its esoteric location, the video had millions of views by the time I first came across it. In this instance, we don't know the identity of the patient, and it was Lloyd Rudy who reported the account not long before his own death in 2012. Circumstances. This occurred on Christmas Day in an unspecified year in a hospital in Great Falls. An oral infection had spread to a heart valve of the patient, resulting in Dr. Rudy performing cardiac surgery. The surgery seemed to fail and the life support machines were turned off and the various staff had begun leaving the theatre. Suddenly, after the patient's chest had been sewn up ready for autopsy, some of the patient's vitals started to return. And once all the staff had rushed back to the theatre, the patient's blood pressure, and heart rate were normalised. He had effectively come back from the dead with no CPR. It is a very rare, but it does happen, and may account for some of the rare historic NDEs prior to the invention of CPR. The patient had been completely unconscious during the surgery and was in a coma for 2 days after the restoration of vital functions. And there are 2 criteria here. Number 1, the patient reported a number of incidents during the surgery that he could not have seen, including a series of post-it notes on a monitor. These notes were put on the monitor for Dr. Rudy by a nurse who had taken messages he needed to respond to after the surgery. They were placed there after the surgery began and removed straight after it was finished. Number 2, given this account was actually provided by Dr. Rudy, this criterion is already fulfilled. He stated there was no way he could have naturally seen this as the patient was out before the operation began. This discussion between Dr. Rudy and the interviewer, who is a dental surgeon, is very much an aside to the original purpose of their discussion, and the way they talk about it is as though it is a very strange event that has no explanation. 2 highly respected medical professionals going on the record in a completely authentic way. And now on to the next case. This is titled Dr. Chris Yerrington's case. This is another case of a physician providing a report of an out-of-body experience almost as an aside. It was in response to a question that had been put to him. As an anesthesiologist, what has been your strangest experience while trying to put someone under? This is possibly the most astonishing verified out-of-body experience of all. The circumstances. A patient referred to as Frank arrived at Ohio State University Hospital sometime late 2003, early 2004, with vital signs so bad he was effectively dead on arrival. After placing Frank into hypothermic CA for a long period, he was wheeled into ICU where he was expected to die. Dr. Yerrington returned to the hospital a day or so later to find that Frank had staged a full recovery. The 2 criteria. Number 1, Frank recognised Dr. Yerrington and told him about his out-of-body experience where he had witnessed the attempts to save his life, and noted something especially striking. He had been stuck on the ceiling for a long time and read and memorised the serial numbers on 3 lights in the OR. He also recalled conversations that occurred. Number 2, Dr. Yerrington confirmed that the conversations had happened during a period when Frank's EEG was isoelectric, flatline EEG. It was not possible for him to have heard these conversations. Most astonishing of all was the fact that the serial numbers were correct. On to the next case. This is titled Flapping Surgeon. In this case, a patient reported seeing an unusual activity while having an out-of-body experience. Circumstances. Al Sullivan was undergoing surgery due to a heart problem in Hartford Hospital. During the surgery, he had an out-of-body experience. The 2 criteria met were as follows. Number 1, as soon as Mr. Sullivan was able to speak, he told his cardiologist, Dr. Anthony LaSala, about his out-of-body experience in which he saw a doctor standing over his body, flapping his arms as though he were trying to take off. Criteria 2. Dr. LaSala was taken aback by this account as Mr. Sullivan's eyes had been taped shut during the operation. There was a drape between his head and the open chest cavity in which the surgeon was operating, and given the stage of the operation that Sullivan noted the arm flapping, he was almost certainly unconscious. The surgeon, Hiroyoshi Takata, was known for using his elbows to gesture to others what he wanted to do, and held his arms like wings when he did so. Takata, who seemed a bit defensive about the observations by the patient, would not confirm whether or not he did this during Mr. Sullivan's operation, but that it was something he did routinely. There were other details reported by Sullivan that were confirmed by Dr. LaSala, and were things he couldn't possibly have known. On to the next case. This is titled Maria's Tennis Shoe. This is probably the most famous verified OBE, as it was one of the first to be publicly discussed as it was presented by Kenneth Ring, one of the founding fathers of NDE research. This occurred in 1979 in a Harborview Hospital in Seattle. Circumstances: Maria, a Spanish-speaking migrant worker, had a CA after being admitted into hospital a couple of days earlier. She then reported details from her OBE which fulfill the two criteria. Number 1. Maria told a social worker in the hospital, Kimberly Clark Sharp, about her OBE and asked Sharp to see if there was a blue tennis shoe on a window ledge of the hospital a few floors off the ground. Number 2. Sharp investigated and found the shoe exactly how Maria described it. She concluded that the only way that Maria could have seen this was if she had indeed had an out-of-body experience. Various attempts to debunk this account have been made over the years, but none really hold water and say more about the character of the accusers than of the people involved. The next case, the 1985 quarter. An 82-year-old patient called Ricardo was admitted to a hospital in San Antonio, Texas, after collapsing. He had a CA in the hospital but responded to resuscitation by Dr. John Lerma. Once he was stabilized and fully conscious in the ICU, he was very eager to talk to Dr. Lerma about his OBE and to confirm to himself that it had been real. Number 1. The patient told him various aspects of his near-death experience and out-of-body experience, but specifically said that there was a 1985 quarter on top of a dusty high cabinet in the trauma room. He asked Lerma to check if it was there, as he wanted to know that the amazing experience, including the beautiful aspects of his NDE, were indeed real. Number 2. Dr. Lerma, in the presence of a couple of nurses, got on a ladder and looked on the top of the cabinet and found the dusty quarter, which indeed was dated 1985. This experience had such an impact on Dr. Lerma that he chose to pursue a career in the end-of-life hospice medicine. So today I was reading from Orson Wedgwood's book, NDE, Near-Death Experience and Aware Studies, Proof of the Soul and God. If you want to buy the book, there is info and a link in the show notes. A great way to support the podcast is to sign up to Patreon. On the Our Paranormal Afterlife Patreon, when you sign up for $6 a month, you get an extended episode every week. And for $3 a month, you get an extended episode every month. If you want to give the extended episodes a try, there is a 7-day free trial. Just go to patreon.com/Our Paranormal Afterlife or click on the button on my homepage at pastliveshypnosis.co.uk. The links are in the show notes. And just so you know, if you're a patron, you get a 25% discount when you book a past life regression session with me. And if you enjoy the podcast, please leave a review and be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or via your favourite podcast app to make sure that you don't miss out on any episodes. And thanks for listening.
At Wellstar, we believe in more. More doctors who are highly experienced and highly rated by people like you. More teams of caregivers who are world-renowned and designed around your unique needs. And more expert care and unwavering compassion across many specialties. Because we believe in the power of expertise and empathy. Wellstar, it's more than healthcare. It's people care.
Is shopping for health coverage confusing? Georgia's got you covered. Georgia Access is our state's program for all residents to find quality, affordable health insurance. At georgiaaccess.gov, you can explore a variety of plan options. You may even qualify for no-cost coverage. Open enrollment is happening now. Visit georgiaaccess.gov today. Georgia Access. Health insurance the Georgia way.
Sometimes words seem so unnecessary. Introducing Unspoken, the new diamond fashion collection you'll only find at Jared Jewelers and just in time for the holidays. Discover the brilliance of natural diamond pendants, rings, earrings, and bracelets in a range of carat weights, expertly interwoven in white or yellow 14-karat gold. It's the perfect holiday gift where your love speaks for itself. Unspoken, the dazzling new collection, exclusively at Jared.
Sweetheart, what about this one?
Nah, fam. That's a little sus.
Shopping with teenagers can be hard, between figuring out what they like and what they mean. But with Walmart, at least shopping for their next pair of glasses is easy. With the Walmart app, you can virtually try on frames at home, upload prescriptions, and get new glasses delivered right to your door. It's an easier way to get stylish glasses they'll actually like.
Now these new glasses, total vibes.
Buying new glasses has a new look. Welcome to your Walmart. Valid prescription required.
Whether you're making the same breakfast that you have every day or baking a cake for an extra special day, eggs are a staple in our diets. Eggland's best eggs are nutritionally superior to ordinary eggs, containing more vitamins and 25% less saturated fat. Not only are they better for you, but Eggland's best eggs taste better too. There's a reason that they're America's #1 eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com for additional information and delicious recipes.